Hello everyone, Untapped MTG here. We got a very special video for you today. Today we're going to be unboxing a booster box of Hour of Devastation, the new set from Magic the Gathering. There's the interventions are in here. You can get Nicol Bolas, you can get the gods are in here, so that's what we're going to be looking for. So it's unopened, it's got the wizard seal of approval on it. We're going to crack this thing open and see what we can find. Let's get at it. Try to keep the camera focused. So what have y'all been pulling from your booster boxes? This is my second booster box. I was able to get a Lord of Extinction invention, masterpiece, whatever it's called. And from my prize packs from pre-release, I actually got a Through the Breach. So I've been very fortunate so far. Hopefully we can do the same. We play a league at work. It's a sealed league, so we're playing Hour of Devastation right now. And I was able to open a Nicol Bolas out of that. So I've been pretty fortunate. I haven't opened any gods yet. So if we could open the gods, that'd be pretty good here. Another Nicol Bolas would always be great. Full Nicol Bolas would be great. And of course, any of the Yu-Gi-Oh cards would also be great. So we're going to open the packs. We're just going to go straight to the uncommons and the rares. You notice right there, you can't really see it right there. Card is already damaged straight out of the pack. There's been a lot of talk about that with these packs, especially about there being some damage already to the cards when you open them. So hopefully we won't have to deal with that too much. So we got Doomfall, Liliana's Defeat. I think Liliana's Defeat's going to be at least a sideboard card in Modern. Burning Fist Minotaur and Swarming Intelligence is our first rare. We got a regular forest and a token. So we will set the rares right there. There's been talk already about the cards bending very early. Look, there's another one right there, same spot. Already damaged, so I don't really know if it's just the cards or there's a monolith, or if it's just maybe the way it was shipped. Fervent Paincaster, Vizier of the True, Vizier of the Anointed. Nimble Obstructionist is our second rare. That's a good card. It's going to see some play in Modern, so that's good. Not too bad. Regular Island and our little, whatever you call that thing. So far, nothing real big, but we've only opened 2 packs, so. Alright, get past the commons. That one's not damaged, so that could be a good thing. Supreme Will. That's a real good card. It's going to be real good in Standard. Farm to Market, Overcome, and our rare is Crested Sunmare. It's our first mythic. It's 2 white, 3 colorless. It says, other horses you control have indestructible. At the beginning of each end step, if you gain life this turn, create a 5/5 horse creature token. So it gives your other horses indestructible, and it creates horses at the end of each end step if you gain life. So that's not too bad. So we'll put our mythics there. We got a swamp, and we have a flying locust. Locust is good because I have built the Locust God deck, and believe it or not, these insect tokens have been kind of hard to come by, and it makes a ton of insect tokens. These packs are a little hard to open. Alright, get through the commons. Sinius Striker. Put the camera. Another Farm to Market, a Riddle Form, Hazaret's Undying Fury. 2 red, 4 colorless. It says shuffle your library, then exile top 4 cards. You may cast any number of non-land cards with converted mana cost 5 or less from among them without paying their mana cost. And then lands you control don't untap on your next untap. So you could possibly cast 4 cards for free, but then you have 6 mana that's not untapping on your next turn. So it could change a game, or it could just, you know, ruin you. But it's not a bad rare. And you got a regular plant and your token, or regular planes and your token. Try to keep that camera focused. It's trying to get out of focus. Prize combatant. I'll get through the commons. Crook of Condemnation. Just kind of like the Relic of Regenerus reprint. Can y'all see that okay? Torment of Scarabs, Burning Fist Minotaur, Oketra's Last Mercy. Another one of those where your island's done untap. It's for 2 white and a colorless. Sorcery says your life total becomes equal to your starting life total. And then lands you control don't untap during your next untap. So you get back up to 20 or 40 if you're playing Commander, but your lands don't untap. A mountain, and another one of those perforated cards. So far, nothing real big. We've had one mythic, but it's kind of eh. Alright, through the commons. Another Crook of Condemnation. Dune Diviner. The Sheffet Duins. Champion of Wits for our rare. It's for a blue and 2 colors. It says when Champion of Wits enters the battlefield, you may draw cards equal to its power. If you do, discard 2 cards. So when it enters the battlefield, you get to draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards. But it also has Eternalize for 5 and 2 colorless. Exile this card from your graveyard, create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 4/4 black demon, or black zombie Naga wizard with no mana cost. Eternalize only as a sorcery. So if you Eternalize, you get to draw 4 cards, and then you only have to discard 2 cards. So you get to draw 6 cards off of this, if it's able to hit your graveyard and come back. So that's not too bad for 3 mana. And then an island and horse token to go with our Crested Sunmare. It'd be cool if that made Pegasus. 5/5 white flying Pegasus creatures. That'd be really cool. Alright, we got a Magmaroth as our first uncommon. Steward of Celerity, Ominous Sphinx, and our rare is Scavenger Grounds. It's a land, it's a desert. Add a colorless 2 mana pool for 2. You can sack a desert. Exile all cards from all graveyards. This will probably be good in maybe, you might see it in Modern maybe. You have to sack itself. It'd be good for a deck running a lot of Eternalized stuff. Probably be good in Commander with, you know, some of the decks that do a lot of weird things with their graveyard. You got a forest and a regular token. Oh, we're not in the camera. Get back over there. Got to keep my one mythic in view. Alright. Okay, we got another Magmaroth. Another Steward of Solidarity, Inferno Jet, and Apocalypse Demon is our rare. For 2 swamps and 4 colorless, it's flying. Its power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in your graveyard. Beginning of your upkeep, you tap the demon unless you sacrifice another creature. So see, somebody plays this, you can play the Crook of Condemnation, and it becomes a 0/0 and just dies. But, you know, 6 mana, late game, or even in a Commander game where there's a lot of stuff in graveyards, this could be a pretty big flyer, or it could be a 1/1 flyer, depending on how the game's going. So, it has its good points, bad points. I think it's a little bit expensive at 6 mana to possibly be like a 1/1 or a 2/2. But if you're playing this, you're playing a lot of graveyard synergies, maybe Green-Black Delirium or something like that. So, I think it might have a place in Standard. Then we have a full. It's a full common. Frontline Devastator. A regular swamp. And another insect token. So we'll set our fulls right there. At least until we get one of these piles out of the way. River Hoopa. or Hoopo, Devotee of Strength, Shivnet Druins, and God Pharaoh's Gift. It's an artifact. 7 colorless. So at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 4/4 black zombie. It gains haste until end of turn. So you can play this, and then you can just start exiling creatures from your graveyard, and they become 4/4 zombies with haste. So you're always able to bring them in and attack with them. Of course, you exile the creature, so you only get it one time. 7 mana, that's a little expensive. Might be good in Commander, something like that. I don't think it's going to see a lot of play in Standard, though. Unless maybe in a red-green ramp deck or something. Ooh, there's our full rare, Hazoret's Undying Fury. Of course, we've already seen it one time, but for 2 red, 4 colorless, you shuffle your library, exile top 4 cards. You can cast any of those 4 cards, convert a mana cost 5 or less, and your lands don't untap. So a full rare, it's not a bad full rare. I would have rather had like a full Hour of Devastation or something like that, but I'm not going to complain. Hadn't hit any real bomb cards yet. None that just stick out. We're almost through our first row, and we've also haven't had any full art lands. And if you watch Alpha Investments unboxing videos over there, Rudy, somebody told him a theory about all the full art lands are just all stacked together. And you watch some of his unboxings, he kind of proves that theory to be correct, because he'll have like 8 or 9 packs that just full art land, full art land, full art land, full art land, and he won't have any more of the rest of the box. So maybe we'll hit them here in a minute. If they're Deadlands, Kefnet's Last Word is our rare. 2 blue, 2 colorless. Says gain control target artifact, creature, or enchantment. Lands you control don't untap during your next untap. So there's the blue lands don't untap. And that was actually, I think, pretty good and going to see some play. A mountain and a token. Alright, through the commons. Crypt of the Eternals. That's a pretty good little land for like a Grixis themed set that we have here with Nicol Bolas, so that's not too bad. Hazoret's Right, Sand Strangler, Majestic Matriarch. That's our second mythic. It's for green and 4 colorless. It's got a lot of text on it. It says its power and toughness are equal to twice the number of creatures you control. At the beginning of each combat, if you control a creature with flying, Majestic Matriarch gains flying till end of turn. The same is true for First Strike, Double Strike, Death Touch, Haste, Hexproof, Indestructible, Lifelink, Menace, Reach, Trample, and Vigilance. So this thing could be like an Ultron, depending on what you're playing. And it could be like good in like an Abzan token deck or a green-white token deck, because it just gets huge. And then you have a couple of flyers, or maybe you play some of the enchantments that give it flying, or First Strike, or Lifelink. So I think this is going to be a pretty good card in Standard. It's a mythic, but it can be really big really fast. So we'll put that with our other mythic. Regular land and a warrior token. Alright, last pack of the first row. Get through all of these commons. Sunset Pyramid. Another Hazoret's Right. Another Sand Strangler. Hour of Revelation. For 3 colorless and 3 white, it says Hour of Revelation costs 3 colorless less, or 3 generic mana less to cast if you have 10 or more non-land permanents on the battlefield. Destroy all non-land permanents. So something like this would be real good in Commander, because it's real easy to have 10 or more non-land permanents on the battlefield really fast. So for 3 mana, being able to completely wipe the board of all artifacts, creatures, enchantments, planeswalkers, everything but lands is really, really good. And then even for 6 mana, in something like Standard, this would still be really good to wipe out planeswalkers and enchantments and everything else. So I think this is a really good card, especially in like a blue-white control deck, or like I said, a commander deck that runs white. So I think that's a pretty good rare. I like that one. Regular forest and another token. Okay, so we got one row out of the way. Let's move everything over so we can organize this a little bit better. So we can get everything in view anyway. There's our 2 mythics. And our 2 foils, one of which is a full rare. Okay, next row. Alright, we're going to start opening some good stuff. Otherwise, I'm going to be a little disappointed. Hypnu Rivulet, Doomfall, Sand Strangler, Imminent Doom. It's an enchantment for a red and 2 colorless. It says there's a battlefield with a Doom counter on it. When you cast a spell with converted mana cost equal to the number of Doom counters on Imminent Doom deals that much damage to target creature or player. Then you put another counter on Imminent Doom. So it's going to enter with 1, and then you cast a spell for 1 cost, Shock, Thrabian Inspector. It's going to deal 1 damage to target creature or player. Then you put another Doom counter on it. So then you cast something that costs 2 mana. It's going to deal 2 damage to a creature or player. Then you put another Doom counter on it. And it just keeps escalating like that. What would make this really, really good if it said if you cast a spell less than or equal to, then it would just be broke. But because it has to be exactly that one, it's going to be a little bit restricted. But it might see some play. It might be alright. Oh, okay, there's our first full art forest. Let's see if we start getting them in a row here. Alright, get past the commons. Resolute Survivors. Eternal of Harsh Truths. Obelisk Spider. Ronos' Last Stand. I think we just about got all the last stands. 2 and a greens, a sorcery. Create a 5/4 green snake creature token. Land you control, do not untap on your next untap. There's another full art. So that's 2 in a row. Alright. Past the commons. Hypnu Rivulet. Manticore Eternal. Dagger of the Worthy. And then Driven to Despair. It's a flip card. Its first part is a colorless and green sorcerer. It says, end of turn, creatures you control gain trample. And whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. And then for its aftermath, it's for 1 and a black. It's also sorcery. It says, to end of turn, creatures you control gain menace. And whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player discards a card. So if you can cast both sides, you get trample and menace. And when you deal damage, you get to draw a card. And when you deal damage, they have to discard a card. So that's not too bad. And we have a full common Cast Through, and then a full art mountain. That's 3 in a row. So still nothing too big. No inventions or masterpieces, or whatever you want to call them. None of the gods. No Nicol Bolas. So been kind of wah so far. Unconventional Tactics, Riddle Form, Obelisk Spider, and Bantu's Last Reckoning. That's not too bad for a rare. 2 black and a colorless. Destroy all creatures. Lands you control don't untap during their next untap step. So that's not too bad. There's our 4th full in a row. Or, excuse me, 4th full art in a row. Alright, Gideon's Defeat. A Braid. Saving Grace. Earthshaker Kenra is our rare. For 1 and a red, it has haste. It says when it enters the battlefield, target creature with power less than or equal to Earthshaker Kenra's power can't block this turn. And Eternalize for 4 and 2 red. You can exile it from your graveyard, create a token. It's this creature, but it becomes a 4/4 with haste. It's not too bad. 5th full art in a row. I think these full art islands are really, really pretty. I like that. That one doesn't want to open. Maybe that means there's something good in here. Okay, Appeal to Authority is our first uncommon. Sifter Worm, Dagger of the Worthy, Hour of Promise. There's another hour. For 4 and a green, search your library for 2 land cards. Put them on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. If you control 3 or more deserts, create 2/2 black zombie creature tokens. So see, this says go get 2 land cards. So you could go search up 2 deserts and put them on the battlefield tapped. And then if you control 3 or more deserts, you get 2/2 creatures. So for 5 mana, you get 2 land and possibly 2 creatures. That's not too bad. That's not a bad hour. It's not the best hour. It's not the one we've really been looking for, but it's not too bad. We have a full. It's a full uncommon, Unraveling Mummy. And then another full art. And a snake token. So we got our snake token to go with our Rona's Last Stand. Alright. Appeal to Authority is our first uncommon. Quarry Beetle, Struggle to Survive. Fraying Sanity is our rare. For 2 and a blue, it's an enchantment or a curse. Says enchant player. At the beginning of each end step, enchanted player puts the top X cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard, where X is the number of cards put into that graveyard from anywhere this turn. So that's not too bad. You could probably mill somebody out with that. Another full art. Alright, we're almost done with our second row. We hadn't really pulled anything exciting. So far, the most exciting thing was our full rare and our majestic Matriarch. So hopefully we pick up here in a minute. Otherwise, this box is not going to be great. Cursed Horde is our first uncommon. A Braid, Saving Grace. And our rare is Reason to Believe, that you can get in the Nissa Planeswalker pack. So, Reason is a blue, so scry 3. Believe is the aftermath for 4 and a green, so look at the top card of your library. You may put it on the battlefield if it's a creature card. If you don't, put it into your hand. So, yeah. Another full art. I think this whole row has been full arts. Past. Another Accursed Horde is our first uncommon. Ramanap Ruins. Banwhip Punisher. Emmett the Eternal is our rare. 2 and a black. Afflict 3. So when this creature becomes blocked, defending player loses 3 life. When an opponent casts a spell, put a -1/-1 counter on Emmett the Eternal. Whenever Emmett Eternal deals combat damage to a player, remove all -1/-1 counters from it. So 5/5 for 3 with Afflict 3 is not bad at all. There's another full art and a token. Alright, that last row is going to have to just bring the heat, because so far we are not getting anything that's just exciting. Another Gideon's Defeat for first uncommon. Jace's Defeat. Struggle to Survive. And Pride Sovereign for the rare. Not too bad. Nice little cat tribal card. 2 and a green. Pride Sovereign gets +1/+1 for each other cat you control. For a white, you can tap and exert Pride Sovereign. Create 2 1/1 white creature tokens with lifelink. If you watch MTG Young Mage, or as he goes by Rhino, his YouTube channel, he was playing, he called it Power Cats last night in his at his F&M, and I think he did pretty good with it. So I mean, there's some potential for this card. And there's another full art and a zombie token. 2 packs left on the second row. Alright, Gideon's Defeat is our first uncommon. Jace's Defeat, Unraveling Mummy, and an Hour of Eternities. I think we just about got all the hours, except for Hour of Devastation. 3 blue, XX, Sorcery, exile X target creature cards from your graveyard. For each card exiled this way, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's a 4/4 black zombie. So that has some potential. Ooh, alright, that's nice. That's nice. Full art, full swamp. About $6 or $7. It's not one of the gods, and it's not Nicol Bolas, and it's not one of the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but so far it's the best thing we've opened in this box. Ooh, and then just a regular full art plains. That's not too bad. Put it with the other fulls. It's bad when you've opened 2/3 of a box and the best thing you can talk about is the full art land. Alright, Sifter Worm. It's our first uncommon. Dune to the Dead. Banewhip Punisher. And our rare is Leave to Chance. For 1 and a white instant, return any number of target permanents you own to your hand. And then Chance for 3 and a red, a sorcery, says discard any number of cards, then draw that many cards. So get a bunch of cards back, discard them, and draw a bunch of different cards. And we got a second full rare. Okay. It's a little odd. Both of the full rares have been but you know, 2 full rares. Hollow 1 for 5 colors. Hollow 1 costs 2 less to cast for each card you've cycled or discarded this turn. And then it has cycling for 2, and it's a 4/4. Another full art. That whole second row was full arts. Alright, we got 1 row left. 12 packs. We need a god. We need a Nicol Bolas. We need a Yu-Gi-Oh card. I'll take some more full arts, I guess, if that's all I can get. Angel of the God Pharaoh is our first uncommon. Imaginary Threats, Sunscorched Champion, and Solemnity. So this has been a pretty talked about card. It's an enchantment for 2 and a white. Excuse me. It says players can't get counters. Counters can't be put on artifacts, creatures, enchantments, or lands. Excuse me. So it's going to see some play in Modern. Probably see a lot of play in Commander. Probably see a little bit of play in Standard. So it's not too bad. Oh, we're back to our regular lands again. Try to hurry up and get through these last few packs. We hadn't been opening anything real great. Alright, Angel of the God Pharaoh again is our first uncommon. Imaginary Threats again. Unraveling Mummy. Resilient Kenra is our rare. 1 and a green. Enters the battlefield, target creature gets +X/+X, where X is its Resilient Kenra's power. Then you can internalize it for 4 and 2 colorless. It comes in as a 2/2. These last few packs, we're just going to go straight to the rare. It's already been a real long video. There we go. We're just going to start going straight to the rare on all of them. Scarab God for 3 and a blue and a black. Legendary creature. It's a mythic. Beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses X life. You scry X, where X is the number of zombies you control. For 2 a blue and a black, you exile target creature card from a graveyard. Create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a 4/4 black zombie. When Scarab God dies, return it to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next upkeep, and it's a 5/5. So that's our first good mythic. Yeah, I think the rest of them we'll just go straight to the rare. Seem to work out on that one. Get past all this other nonsense. Abandoned Sarcophagus. It's an artifact for 3 mana. It says you may cast non-land cards with cycling from your graveyard. If a card with cycling would be put into your graveyard from anywhere and it wasn't cycled, you exile it instead. So you can cycle away, you know, your sensor and things like that, and then when you need them, you can just play them from your graveyard. So I think it's going to be a pretty good card in Standard. Regular island and a cat token. Oh no! Got an avalanche of our empty packs. Overwhelming Splendor. It's our 4th mythic for the box and our 3rd mythic for the box. 6 and 2 colors. It's an enchantment. It says enchant creature or enchant player. Creatures enchanted player controls lose all abilities and have base power and toughness 1/1. Enchanted player can't activate abilities that aren't mana abilities or loyalty abilities. So it shuts off all the gods, that's for sure. It does not shut down the planeswalkers though. Endless Sands is the rare. It's a land. Tap to add a colorless mana pool. Pay 2, tap, exile target creature you control. For 4, you can tap and exile or sacrifice Endless Sands. Return each creature card exiled with Endless Sands to the battlefield under owner's control. So it kind of protects your creatures. You know, you can tap it, keep them from being target removal spell, and then you can get them all back. We got a full common, Bitterbow Sharpshooters. Alright, we're almost done. Can we get one more god? or a nickel bolus. I'd be fine with that even over the Yu-Gi-Oh cards at this point. Unish. Oh, there's another mythic. We got 5 mythics in this box. Most of them not that good. Unish, the Chrysophinx Sovereign. 4 and 2 blue. It's a flying Sphinx. As Sphinx spells, say that 5 times fast, you cast costs 2 less to cast. When it or another Sphinx enters the battlefield under control, reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Opponent separates them into 2 piles. Put 1 pile in your hand, the other in your graveyard. So you could build like a Sphinx commander deck with that. Wouldn't be too bad. Land and perforated card. Alright. Coming up to the home stretch. Chaos Maul is the rare for that one. It's 5 and 2 red. Says when it's battlefield, deals 3 damage to each other creature, and it's a 6/6. Hostile Desert again. Same thing. Exile a land card from a graveyard. Hostile Desert becomes a 3/4 till end of turn, and it's still a land. Alright, 3 packs left. This box was not great. We did get a full art, and we got a Scarab God, so it's not a complete waste. And there's 5 mythics, but they just weren't that good. Angel of Condemnation for 2 and 2 white. It's Flying Vigilance. It's a 3/3. Says for 2 and a white, you tap it, exile another target creature, return that creature to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the end step. For 2 and a white, you can tap and exert the angel, exile another target creature until Angel of Condemnation leaves the battlefield. So you can flicker a creature, or you can get rid of it until the angel leaves the battlefield. Hour of Devastation. Alright. Last 2 packs, Hour of Devastation, not bad. 3 and 2 red. All creatures lose indestructible to end of turn. Hour of Devastation deals 5 damage to each creature and each non-bolus planeswalker. Last pack. Whoa. Let's go all the way to the back. Adorned Pouncer. 1 and a white. Double strike. With Eternalize, 3 and 2 colorless. So all in all, not too bad, not too great. No nickel bolus, no masterpieces. We got a Scarab God and a full art Swamp. So not a great box, but you know, you win some, lose some. Anyway, Untapped MTG. Hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you guys later.